Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. Just wanted to do a update on Bitcoin. First of all, had 5 waves down here. It's just a quick recap. Then we had a expanded flat. We had an X wave and potentially done our Y wave. But there is a way this can change the pattern, and I just want to show you down on the hourly. So originally what I did is move my stop into profit, so I can't lose here, down at this red mark here you see. But I'm actually going to adjust it. I got in at the 50 of this down move. But what I'm going to do is adjust my stop back to this high. That should be a little lower here. That was my entry, literally right at the 50. I was 50% in. I had 50% at the 50 and 50% at the 618. So I do have some extra capital to throw out once this potential trade's set up. But down at the 15 minute, as you know, we're looking for that down move, our C leg in the larger time frame, to pan out here down to between 21 and 24K. But there's potentially something else happening here. I just want to show you how that can pan out. So I was looking for this to turn into a 5-wave pattern. We had 5 waves down here. We had a small ABC here, but it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like potentially a expanded ending diagonal there, which opens the possibility that this is just an A, B, C. Usually what I look for is if this is the 1, 2, 1, 2, I'd expect the second 1, 2 to be smaller in time than the first 1, 2. You can see it's kind of spread out over time. It's more of a guideline than a rule, but I start to second guess things when it's taking more time like this. The other thing is I usually expect the second wave 1 to come to the 618, and it's almost come to the 100. So I'm starting to be open to the possibility that this is just an ABC 3-wave move. Can come a little bit further down. Maybe this ending diagonal expands a little bit more and comes to the 1-to-1. But I still do have my short open from right at the 50, but I'm going to move my stop to right here, where if I lose it, it's slight loss, but nowhere near what it was up at the previous high here. And the reason for that is originally I adjusted my stop down to this wave 2 because if this was a 1, 2, 1, 2, we shouldn't reach that level again. But now that this pattern's playing out a little more, again, I think this could just be an ABC, which actually just makes a larger ABC. So this is our A wave. This is our B wave, and looking for a C wave down, again at the 1-to-1 extension when we get this pivot. But the reason I'm moving my stop, getting to the point here, is say this is the low here. In the scenario where this is an ABC, our B wave can come higher to that level I moved it to. And I do not think this is all the correction. You can see how impulsive to the downside it is. If this is an ABC, we'd expect this to come up and then make a 1-to-1. And where that leaves us is the open possibility that this can be a leading diagonal as a wave 1, like so, come up for our 2, then go to the downside. But it also leaves us open to the possibility that this correction here isn't done. Where we had a expanded flat for our W wave, and we could be looking for some sort of zigzag here, or double zigzag. Since we had an ABC here, we could literally just make another wave up like so, up to the 618 area. And this is our first correction, ABC. We get our X wave, and this is our second correction, as most likely a flat as well, a double three, where you have 3 waves, 5 waves, and then we come to the downside. So because of all those options, it does appear we need at least one more leg down, either in the bearish scenario where this makes a leading diagonal, since we only have 3 waves down currently, but I'd still take profit at the 1-to-1, and I'd wait for this and then short this area. I'm still taking profit there because the market would come back to us for a better entry. And in the case that we're going higher, we'll pay attention to see if we get a 5-wave move here, and we can switch long from that and with our stop at that low. But very interesting moments in the market. I still have my short open, but I have moved my stop to the previous pivot just because of this ABC scenario. But again, this can still be a 1-2-1-2. It's just becoming less probable because of how much time this wave has taken. It's clearly 3 waves at the moment. So unless we just fall off a cliff here for a third of a third, I would expect our B wave correction up, and then I'd look for a 1-to-1 extension whenever we get that to take profit at, and then reevaluate what's going on somewhere around 26.5, as you can see. All right, guys, so that's it for Bitcoin. That's what I did with my trade setup. Originally, my stop was here at the wave 2 high, moving it back to the high because of this B wave. We can come down in a leading diagonal pretty much only if we come back for this B wave, or that ends up being a C wave and we go higher. So this is how we're navigating the market. I will be pretty much posting a video for every pivot if you want to keep up to date to what I'm doing in my trade setups. As for the moment, still short. Stop is at this high, so shouldn't lose much. Maybe, yeah, it's negligible. Not even 1% of the original trade setup where I got in at the 50. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want the updates. Cheers.